Are you seeing all of this here? Today we're going to do a very fun experiment.
Fun and cool to do with your family. And then everyone does it together and takes care of each other.
Besides, it's safer. This video is the third in our Free to Discover series. There are 6 videos in partnership with OMO where we teach cool things and at the same time boost your creativity.
What we're going to do today is a super volcano with plaster, but after learning how to assemble it, you'll see that you can go much further.
This one is a good example of a fun science fair project you can do. We've already made a volcano on World Manual, but then we discovered a better way, much easier, and with faster results than the old volcano.
This volcano looks amazing, but remember, if you're a child, you need to ask an adult to do it with you, right? So let's move on to the materials list. You will need a board to be the base of your volcano. This one here is 15.7 by 15.7 and optionally an LED lamp.
We chose LED because it heats up less than other bulbs, making it safer.
Yes. For the LED to work, you will need a socket, which is this thing here, and an extension.
This lamp will be placed inside the volcano to illuminate it from within, functioning as incandescent lava.
It's beautiful. You will also need 2 glass jars, one from pickles and the other from a jam brown, red and yellow gouache paint to make the volcano, lava, tape, old newspaper and aluminum foil.
The mountain of our volcano is going to be made of plaster. Ideally, you should buy quick drying plaster because it hardens in about 5, at most 10 minutes. You'll need 6.61 pounds of plaster for the volcano. For the volcano to work, to make it erupt, I'll use 5 ingredients. Vinegar, detergent, water, baking soda, and to give it a little color, red jello. But here we're gonna do 2 experiments. In the second experiment, I'm also gonna use a little dry ice.
So let's go, make a lot of mess, and learn a lot too.
It's okay if it's dirty because OMO will solve it later. I'm going to start by drilling some holes right in the center of the wood. This will help our volcano not to get too hot when we turn on the lamp.
Now I'm going to put the lamp right in the middle of the board on top of the holes that Ibre just made. Put the large glass on top of it, secure it with tape. Then I put the small glass on top of the large jar, also secure it with tape, and wrap everything with aluminum foil with the shiny side facing inwards.
Now we're going to have to surround our volcano with crumpled newspaper. At this time, you can't skimp on the newspaper. You have to use a lot of crumpled newspaper, and so it doesn't come off. You keep securing everything with tape until you get to roughly the shape of the mountain.
Here we are going to put a sheet of newspaper without crumpling it and a bit of tape to shape it well.
The structure of the volcano is ready. It's time to make a mess with our quick drying plaster that you can find in any construction store.
For the plaster to work, it's important that we first put water in a bowl and then sprinkle the plaster on top gradually. If we don't do this, the mixture becomes all lumpy.
With plaster, no amount of mess is too much, but the result is fantastic. If I pour the plaster like this, dripping, it gives the impression the volcano's lava has flowed here.
And to add color to our volcano, I'm going to dilute the gouache with water and start painting our mountain brown. And now a bit of red and yellow, but instead of painting, we're going to dilute it a bit and place it up here, letting it trickle down to look like volcano lava.
It looks beautiful, right?
It's beautiful, but the best is yet to come.
Mary, before we make this volcano erupt, I think we better let it dry. We will demonstrate 2 methods to make the volcano work, one using chemistry and the other using physics. Let's start with the first option, chemistry. In other words, we're going to form new substances with this experience.
First, I fill the glass halfway with water.
Then a little bit of red jello.
After that, a good spoonful of baking soda.
And a bit of detergent.
Now, when we put the vinegar, the magic happens. A lot of lava.
Well, what happened here is very simple. The vinegar reacted with the baking soda. It formed two things, a salt called sodium acetate. This salt got dissolved in the water. We didn't even see it, but it also generated carbon dioxide, which is the gas of the soda. And it's the carbon dioxide that caused these bubbles that made the volcano erupt.
But there's also the physical way to make this volcano work.
But first, I'll quickly clean up the volcano crater. What we're going to do now is a physics experiment because we're not going to change the chemical composition of the ingredients. We're going to start the same way.
Water up to the middle of the jar.
Red jello.
And now I'm going to turn on the volcano lamp to make it more realistic.
Then, with a spoon, just put some dry ice rocks into the mouth of our volcano. Don't worry, this isn't everything. Just watch what the detergent will do here. Well, first thing, why is it called dry ice, Mary?
Because it's a dry ice.
Exactly, because it's almost like ice and it's dry. Dry ice isn't water. Dry ice is carbon dioxide. It's CO2, carbonic gas in a solid form. Something really cool happens with it. It's in a solid form, and when it heats up, instead of turning into a liquid, it goes straight to the gaseous state. This type of transformation is called sublimation. So we throw the dry ice into the water, and it's a stone that starts releasing gas. And that's what we saw here. It carries along some water droplets, and that's why it forms that little smoke. But if we throw detergent, instead of forming the little smoke, it starts to form white soap bubbles, because the little smoke is inside the bubble, and that's why we see that white goo coming out from the top here.
Done! Now, besides knowing how to build your volcano, you also know how it works.
And as we used a drill, electricity, some slightly more dangerous things, this video is great to be done as a family.
And of course, we don't want you to copy this volcano exactly the way we did.
Your goal is to create, invent, and discover the possibilities of this experience.
Being free to discover is important for your development and future.
This video is part of our Free to Discover series. It's an initiative by OMO to show the importance of playing freely, indoors and outdoors, learning new things that will be important later on, like this volcano that we just showed.
More turbocharged ideas to do at the science fair can be found here at the World Manual.
As a suggestion, we'll leave the link here to the first video in the series, how to make a Jello sticker for your to stick on your room window.
And also a link to the video where we taught how to make a roller coaster from tubes.
Are you recording?
Can we?
He's been recording all along.
Sorry.